Now, moving on to a game that I really didn't want to speak about when the fateful moment happened, but the League Cup final. After 90 minutes in extra time, it was 0-0, and then it was 10-11 or 11-10 on penalties. Liverpool beating Chelsea. Now, I could literally do a whole podcast on this game because so much happened, and it's probably the best 0-0 that I've ever seen. So let's just start. I don't even know where to start. Let's start chronologically, should we? Should we? Or I don't even know where to start, to be honest. Let's just go on how I've done it on my run sheet. Game of millimetres, I've written down here. Game of millimetres. And a game this close, and a game this so closely battled, and a game that was so high tension, and mistakes and little passes and overhit passes or underhit passes or shots that go literally millimetres wide can change the outcome of a game. This was the definition of a game in millimetres. You had Mane missing a pretty much open goal in the first half. You had Mount missing two gilt-edged chances, which 9 out of 10 times he'd bury both of them. You had Van Dijk offside by a toenail, like his foot was offside, and that was a controversial decision by itself. Jeez, I can't even speak. You had the Naby Keita non-red card, which I'll speak about. You had Chelsea's 3 offside goals. You had Lukaku's goal, which was given. I'm pretty sure that one was given, but it was ruled out for offside, which that one got me intrigued. That one got me looking at the replay because I thought that was on. And then you had Kai Havertz missing scoring, but it was offside. You had Marcos Alonso getting a cross for Havertz, saved by Kelleher's foot. You had Kepa nearly saving Konate's. You had Kelleher nearly saving Werner's. You had so many moments of millimetres, like literal millimetres. Put it this way, if Mason Mount hits the ball 3 centimetres on the outside, 3 centimetres further up of his foot or further back of his foot, it's probably 1-0 Chelsea. If Romelu Lukaku holds his run for 1/100th of a second, it's probably 1-0 Chelsea. If Sadio Mane puts 2 centimetres of height more on that shot, it's 1-0 Liverpool. If Kepa gets across a little bit, or if he times his dive a little bit better, Chelsea have a spot kick to win it. If Kelleher gets across and saves Werner's, times his dive a little bit better, Liverpool win it a lot sooner than what they did. It was literally a game of millimetres, and so many people are blaming XYZ person, blaming Kepa, blaming Mount, blaming Tuchel, blaming whoever. In my opinion, there is no one you can blame from a Chelsea perspective. There is absolutely no one you can blame. They pretty much played the perfect game. They played as perfect of a game as you could against Liverpool. I'm not sure you could have played a better one. And if they did, fucking fair goes to them. But they fought. They scored, all the outfield players scored their pens. They put the ball in the back of the net 4 times, or whatever, 3 times. They hit the post. And then on the Liverpool side of things, they had a goal ruled out. I think it was Matip got the header at the back post, but that was a goal. I don't know why that was disallowed. They had Mane shot from the double save, and then you have the intangibles. Thiago going out 3 minutes before kickoff. If that doesn't happen? Does that give Liverpool the advantage or Chelsea the advantage? Who knows? Obviously, I think it was Harvey Elliott came onto Naby Keita came into the starting 11, who had the shot to Mane, who missed the open goal, and then you had Harvey Elliott, who wasn't even in the squad, came on the bench, came on, scored a penalty. There's just so many sliding doors moments where you can't blame anyone. If Chelsea had come out and got absolutely battered for 90 minutes, then fine, fair enough. You can blame a person or a group of people. Similarly, off the Liverpool side, if Chelsea came out, scored 3, game over by half time, you can blame people from the Liverpool's perspective. It was literally the bounce of a ball. That's all it was. It was the millimeters and bounces of a ball which determined the outcome, and probably deservedly so. Liverpool won. I think you have to look at the key moments of the game. Liverpool had the ball in the back of the net. Probably Chelsea had the ball in the back of the net more times, but Liverpool had the ball in the back of the net in the most fair way. You could say Liverpool should have been down to 10 men. You should say a lot of different things. Chelsea hit the post. A lot of different things. But two moments which I want to speak about is the Kepa sub and the Naby Keita red card, or non-decision, I should say. Naby Keita should not have been on the pitch, in my opinion. And this is not an excuse, because I said Liverpool probably deserved to win, and it was so tight that even if Keita got subbed off, I don't really back Chelsea's ability to beat 10 men anyway. But he's gone studs up, he's gone high, he's collected him pretty much in the penis. He's kicked Chalobah in the inner groin. Like, for me, that's black and white for me. And for that to be a Liverpool free kick is a joke. But that for me is black and white. That's a red card. And if that was happening on a Chelsea, if say the roles were reversed and Chalobah kicked Keita, and it wasn't given, I'd be counting my wives, seriously, because that for me is as clear of a red card as you can see. But again, one of those sliding doors moments which you can't affect and you can't change, and you can only ponder about what if that was given. And also the Kepa sub. A lot of people are blaming Tuchel. A lot of people are blaming Mendy. I don't know why people are blaming Mendy, but I've seen it. A lot of people are blaming Kepa. Now, you need to look at this from a couple of different perspectives. Kepa's job is not to score a penalty, so you can't blame him for missing, because that's not his job. What you can blame him for is not saving them. Fine, fair enough. He probably should have saved them. Should have saved some, considering he was brought on to save penalties. For people blaming Thomas Tuchel, now I get it. Mendy had one of the better games I've ever seen him play, and that's a high standard, right? And I know he won an African Cup of Nations on penalties only like a month ago, 2 months ago. But Kepa's record in a shootout is unreal. Like, I can remember him saving us. I remember him saving us against Frankfurt. I remember him saving us in League Cups, against Spurs, against so many people, like so many teams. I remember, like I said, Frankfurt in the Europa League, Spurs in the League Cup, Villa in the League Cup, Southampton in the League Cup. This season, I can remember him saving us so many times. He saved the penalty in the Club World Cup, I'm pretty sure. No, he didn't. I was lying about it. But, like, I back, and adding to that, I don't think I've seen Edouard Mendy save a penalty for Chelsea. So, when you add those, he saved Aguero's chip at the end of the last season. But adding to that, I think it was the right decision. Tuchel obviously thought it was the right decision. If you were to replay that game, I would do that decision. I would make that sub every single time. So would Thomas Tuchel. So would probably Edouard Mendy, and so would probably Kepa. Because it's, again, one of those things, a game of millimeters. If Kepa times his dive better, saves Konate's shot, and I think it was Werner maybe who had the kick after him, scores, Kepa's hailed the hero, and it's a masterclass from Thomas Tuchel, etc. But it's so fine margins, like he's so tight that it's almost beyond the point of debating, because you can debate about whose fault was it, but if like there's so many things, like you can say this, like what if like Kepa comes on with 2 minutes ago, what if Chelsea score in that time? That sub doesn't get spoken about. So there's so many sliding doors moments where it's like you can't really even debate it. But yeah, I think I've covered that in a truncated version. I could really speak about that for ages, but yeah, I think I've talked through all my talking points. That's first domestic cup for Jurgen Klopp. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it is first domestic cup. Thomas Tuchel obviously still waiting on that domestic cup, but it will come. I have no doubt. Now, speaking of Chelsea, we'll